I imagine you were too thin for Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. And leading up to that fight, I've watched some of your interviews, and it's not like you. At least I didn't see you pick a guy. You talked about Canelo's strengths and Bud's strengths, but as the fight progressed, did you see your selfish thinking? Were you thinking, man, this Canelo fight is really slipping away for good now? Was that your thought at all?
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, the way I had to think about it, I thought that fight had already slipped away. Canelo didn't show no signs of wanting to fight. That was definitely a fight that all the people wanted, and it is a fight that made sense on both parts. Sometimes when a fight isn't made is because the money isn't right or, things are right. But, everything was there. The money was there. People wanted to see it. It would have been one of the greatest fights of all time. And because it didn't happen already, I kind of knew that it wasn't really going to happen, or I felt like Canelo didn't want the fight to happen. But after seeing that Crawford and Canelo fight, I'm like, oh man, this fight for sure is done. It's done for.
Did you watch the fight live?
Yeah, I watched it live.
All right, so what part in the fight did you think, okay, wait a minute, Bud really has this fight in the bag?
To be honest with you, I felt like already in the fourth round, the way with how Canelo was fighting, I'm like, man, he's gonna let Crawford get too far ahead, and then when he's gonna want to catch up, he's not gonna be able to do anything. Because it's been a trend already, like the way Canelo fights, he takes the first 4 rounds really slow, and his punch output has gone down a lot. He only throws like 10 punches per fight. And with an elite fighter like Crawford that knows how to fight and knows how to box around the ring and can also, when he needs to brawl, he could brawl. He has the dog in him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Crawford, it looked like two different stories. It looked like Crawford was training for the biggest moment of his life, and it looked like Canelo was already, he kind of let the money get to him, and he wasn't prepared 100%.
Wow. The leading up to that fight, most people were making a big deal about the weight difference. I didn't think it was going to play a fact at all because Canelo's a small super middleweight. Were you surprised at all, how Bud was able to show his strength and stand in the pocket at times and bang with Canelo?
It didn't really surprise me because I said back then, man, I said that it wouldn't surprise me if Crawford won, or it wouldn't have surprised me if he would have got knocked out. The reason why I say that is because Crawford, he's a great fighter. He's in there. He has that dog in him. We all seen how great of a fighter he is. With Canelo, the reason why the weight should have played a big role is because Canelo's used to fighting these big fighters. Like I said, he didn't prepare 100% because once things don't go your way, you have to put that pressure. You have to put that pressure. You have to do whatever it is for you to get in there and secure to win a round or secure a knockout. In Canelo's case, it looked like he didn't have it in him. He didn't have the energy to push forward. Just like how he did with Caleb Plant. He was losing the first 4 rounds, and then in the fifth, sixth round, he started putting in that pressure. You know what I mean? And that's what you're supposed to do with little guys like that. I think if he would have had that same stamina, it would have went a different way. Or if the wanting to win the fight, it would have went a different way. But hats off to Crawford. He had a great fight. He had a great performance, and he's up there now with the legends. And everything what he accomplished that fight can never be taken away from him. He's an all-time great now.